Hey, you know what? First of all, I want to just say I love you guys. I'm always so happy to see you. And I also want to say hello and thank you to everyone out there that's watching. We really appreciate it. So welcome. We're going to be taking questions as much as possible. We're going live on Instagram on our phones while we're, having our Zoom meetings.
Can we just tell everyone this? Because I get asked this all the time. Like people who are Housewives fans out there, we don't see the show until you see the show. I mean,
you don't really need to mess with perfection.
Who's the doctor?
His name is Dr. Stephen Mulholland.
about your husband, like,
do you know him?
Okay.
Flashback to the face hickey of 2002.
Okay, so 15 years ago, I went to his clinic for microdermabrasion. His paramedical esthetician was doing it. She had the sucker thing cranked up to like Mach 10. I mean,
It was really bad. It was dark purple. It was hickey purple. Like,
you haven't seen him in 15 years?
no, but why would I want to? I was like traumatized.
15 years ago? I mean, come on. It happens to me 10 minutes ago and I can barely remember it.
so
that scene too.
not me. It was the very first scene I'd filmed.
Had you already filmed with us?
No, that was the very first scene I filmed.
But Anne, how did you feel about those comments? Like them talking about your husband like that?
Well, I didn't see that till much later. So I never knew she had done all that till much later. Yes.
Did Stephen actually remember her?
15 years. And she had some microdermabrasion and she was bringing that up.
Well, did Stephen actually remember her?
If he did, he couldn't comment, but no.
Oh, right, of course.
He never saw her. She didn't go to him. She went to, according to her, she went to a clinic.
Can I tell you what I felt in that moment? Because it was so major. It was, you know how before we did the Housewives, everyone warned us, like, people are going to betray you and da-da-da-da-da. I was like, really? These women are my friends. It was the very first scene I filmed. And the first thing she did was skew reality and throw someone under the bus. I was literally filming and you can see it in my eyes. I was actually going through my brain. I was like, this is what they're talking about. I'm so whoa. I don't mean to swear, but it's true. Like I was looking at her being like, this is how this summer's gonna go. Like in the very first minute of filming.
You can see in her face, Roxy. You saw in your face. I like your reaction. You were like.
Someone was asking me how hard is it to do those confessional kind of like, the testimonial videos, the on-camera ones. And, I wish I was more forthcoming when we were taping those scenes because I felt like I was sort of guarded because I didn't want to hurt anybody and I was trying to be nice to everybody.
Nervous.
Yeah, so I wish I had been more honest. That's my only takeaway from that.
You never knew what they were asking you. You never knew what your answer that was given, if they plug it in somewhere else or not.
Yes.
That's what I wondered. So I was kind of careful because you never knew where it would end up.
I was constantly thinking in sound bites for that exact reason. Like, how are they going to take this out of context? And they did that to me, like really big. And
they really did.
They really did. So someone was asking, how did our family react when they found out we were doing a reality show?
By the third episode, my mom goes, your father and I just can't figure out where do we watch it? I'm like, Mom, I'm on like a really big reality show. And then she goes, oh, your father and I watched it. Sweetheart, this is very embarrassing. I can see a lot of cleavage. You're swearing on TV. I was like, okay, don't watch anymore.
I remember I was at the Loblaws and I hear, Grego, hi, how are you? And I thought we knew
the person.
I was trying to figure out where did we met, or maybe she's like my kids' friend's parent. Like I was just because it's like she knew me, like she's, oh, I love you on the show. So, but that was the first time.
I was walking Lola down Avenue Road, and these people rolled down their window and screamed, Roxy, we love you! And I was like, I love this. I was like, this is I now understand why people go on TV.
So what's the party? Tell me about the party. What's going on?
Roxy invited me. It's a procedure party, but the doctor that's doing it is Stephen Mulholland.
Yeah, but you also remember he fixed it,
Yeah.
right? He didn't do it.
Okay. I haven't seen him since then, and now I'm all edgy. And
Yeah, but he worked really hard at fixing the problem, sweetheart.
now I feel like a jerk.
Why?
Because I told the whole story to Roxanne, and now I feel like I'm like this big gossip, and
I have no patience for gossips, and yet, true to Kara's form, I become the very thing that I don't like.
Roxy's not going to open her mouth. Don't be ridiculous. She was just laughing at it.
okay.
Wow. It was just so fake, that whole thing.
15 years ago, and I bet Graham sucked on her face, and it wasn't even in clinic.
You know, and it was nice that Graham acknowledged that it was fixed and that she hadn't even actually seen Stephen.
Hi, I'm Kara.
Kara Gregorian.
Gregorian. That's so pretty.
Thank you.
Is that Italian?
No, it's French. I'm from Montreal.
I went to McGill. I love Montreal. Journalism, English literature. My degree from McGill was recognized everywhere in the States and whatnot because I'm a writer.
Well, she talks a lot.
All of the blogs, all of the social media, and my writing background, of course, with his body and which is a huge part of yoga, right? It's being very body aware.
Yeah, usually I have no problem talking, but I barely say a thing.
And then we went skiing at Christmas, and it was fabulous.
Yeah, it was, it was a lot of going on.
Whoa.
Jana.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
She had
I remember thinking, I was wondering if I was missing something. Like, was I supposed to be doing something else, or was I supposed to be talking about myself a lot? I remember thinking, did I miss the script, or did I miss something?
Yeah,
And I remember going up and I saw all the monitors, and I started to have a little bit of a panic attack.
I remember the monitors.
Remember, like all the production?
All the monitors when you're going in. There was a whole crew there. As you're going into the party, they had like a huge crew in a room.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we're filming a show.
Yeah, it was
And you
very
remember
professional. Very professional.
After each like scene, they didn't want us to talk between us.
Yeah,
Remember?
we weren't supposed to speak.
Yeah, we
So
weren't
after
allowed to, we weren't
not
supposed
allowed
to phone each other.
interact. We were
I
not
was
allowed to
pulled
speak.
aside the first episode
What?
and
Oh,
told
yeah.
to bring up the procedure hickey.
Oh, what?
So wait,
And they were like, make sure you say it. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to bring it up. They're like, we're filming a reality show here.
I was the assistant West Coast editor at Lure magazine, so beauty, all of that.
So if everybody wants to come around.
I'm not sure how close you want to be. Those fainted parts should maybe stand back a little bit.
I look over and see a white operating table and some machines with wires and gazoodles coming out.
Come on in a little closer, guys, if you want.
And I'm thinking, this isn't about lotions.
1, 2, 3, and away we go. And so we create a little hole in the skin. Through that hole, we're going to take a little bit of a product.
I always hated needles since I'm a little girl.
Stephen and I travel around the world. I see him do these procedures all the time. I'm used to it. But was looking at the crowd, it was like watching people watching a horror movie. It's really quite funny. You should just see your face.
Oh my God.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I'm sweating just watching this.
I've never even had Botox at that point.
No, I
None of you knew there was going to be that procedure.
I just kept thinking about that poor woman named Linda. I even remember her name, thinking like how brave she's
She
being.
looked like she was on Quaaludes after. She's like, I know, great.
Yeah, and then she came out and joined the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually do that 21 weekends a year. We go to different cities and do exactly what she just did.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Like if you,
asked if Anne still has her unibrow or something.
oh,
A
the brow.
Yeah, someone's asking.
No, yesterday I had my unibrow.
Oh, it's gone now.
I didn't wear it tonight.
Okay.
And someone is asking, are there any parts that you regret or you feel cringy looking back on? Anybody
My
else?
cringiest thing I said was, why travel when you're not even flying business? I was like, that's such a stupid thing to say. I don't even fly business all the time.
I was going to ask you, do you fly business? No.
When you travel a lot, you fly every way.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Sometimes you can't help it. You have to get on that flight, so you just go.
Totally. You're like, I'm like in the back in a middle row next to like a housewife fan. They're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, going home. I'm exhausted. Cheers.
And she's just so much fun.
Champagne?
Oh, here's one.
No, they're bringing me. I'm doing sparkling water.
Okay.
I mean, you don't drink alcohol at all?
No. That's okay.
Kara doesn't drink at all. She looks more, conservative.
So here's a toast. To you, the pursuit of happiness and the pursuit of looking younger.
Thank you for this wonderful party.
I was trying to figure out who was there for who was there for the free alcohol.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
It's a funny line. That's a funny line. That's harmless. It's harmless.
Yeah.
It was harmless.
Yeah.
Grego, your look on your face, so you don't drink alcohol?
I know.
Sorry, I'm misunderstanding what's happening here. You don't drink alcohol?
Sorry, is this like a language barrier or?
It was hard to watch, but at the same time, it was fascinating.
I was shocked.
I'm not really one to judge people when I first meet them, but I simply don't think that Grego and I have a lot in common.
I think after you breastfeed children that...
After breastfeeding 2 babies, you know.
I'm going to be calling you in a few years, no doubt.
I'm not going to breastfeed your kids.
You guys kind of know each other from before, right? But I'm glad that it's all...
No, I don't know Anne from before. Didn't we discuss this in the limo? We're not going here.
Oh, you don't know Anne from before?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't know Anne from before.
Okay.
Miscommunication. Oh, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding.
That didn't happen. Are you bleeding? Oh dear.
I looked down and I saw I was sick. It splashed up and cut my leg. But I'm okay. Yes.
Obviously, it was just a little bit of blood on her leg. Come on.
Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. It's fine. Don't make a fuss.
I just wish I ran and got Kara a tampon when she did that.
She blatantly lied. That morning you see her in the studio in that shop, and she's telling me about how Steven gave her a face hickey and how she knows Anne and Anne's this woman, blah 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 blah. And then I go, so you know Anne? No, I've never heard of her. Then I'm like, oh, that's when I knew this show is going to be a wild ride, because I was like, oh, we're blatantly lying now.
But
Yeah.
it was just, she just stood there. So you just stood there. That was all.
Yeah.
She didn't.
Yeah, we all just stood there. We all didn't know what to do. It was like
I didn't
a
know
very
why it was
awkward
a big deal.
moment.
Just a glass broke.
Yeah, and it was just the littlest tiny nick.
It
Some
was
people are like
a shaving nick.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. It was like,
so awkward.
Oh, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Okay, nobody make a fuss, but I'm bleeding. Okay, she's dropped a glass on me. I am bleeding. Don't make a fuss, but the glass dropped and it's hit my leg and I'm bleeding.
That was really fun to watch that together.
Yeah, that really was amazing.
I think we should do a season 2.
I think we
Do
should.
it.
Totally.
Our lives are so much more exciting now as well.
Yeah.
Because like once you change, once the show changes you, and so now it's just different.
Yeah,
that's true. That's a really
it's definitely enhanced.
Really good point.
Yeah.
Well, I love you, girls. This was fun.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.